Welcome back to the Lightning Bolt Chronicles. Thank you for rejoining us here for Chronicle 1-3. Hey, y'all. Hey, it's me, Christina McCrary on Facebook, aka The Black Mirror, aka Captain Consistent, aka The Mom Friend, aka Xtina McCrazy on TikTok and Instagram, host of McCrazy's Place podcast on YouTube, and it has an IG and a Facebook. Co-host of Thursday Night Live on the Sarcarrogance Media Group YouTube page, as well as my YouTube page, both Facebooks and the PGC Chronicles YouTube and Facebook page, and co-host of this wonderful, wonderful magic-making moment, the Lightning Bolt Chronicles, which plays on YouTube, Spotify, our website, www.thelightningboltchronicles.com, and which has an Instagram, a TikTok, and a Facebook. And my co-host, would you please introduce yourself?
Hey, magical friends. Thanks again for joining us. I'm Erica. I represent Hufflepuff. And you can find me at PoodleNoodle82 on Instagram. Or, try to find me somewhere else. Woohoo!
Try to find me somewhere else.
Try to find me.
You can also find her here at the Lightning Bolt Chronicles or on our website, thelightningboltchronicles.com.
Yeah. There you go.
All right. Chapter 3, The Letters from No One. Please give the people a summary.
All right. So basically we don't have any new characters. We're just playing with all the characters that we've spoken to or heard of in the past. Yeah, I mean mentions here and there.
Names of the rest of Dudley's gang.
Mentions here and there. So we've got basically what we're talking about here is that Dudley and Harry, for the very first time, are going to different schools. Harry feels a sigh of relief finally to have a little bit of space from everyone, really, from Dudley, from his gang, from the family, to be able to be like separated, have his own time. Dudley is going to a school called Smeltings, which his dad went to, so he's kind of legacy. And Harry is going to Stonewall High, which is the local public school. And at this point, Dudley gets a new uniform because his school is private, and Harry gets new clothes to wear as well. And something really interesting happens in that a letter comes for Harry. In, this many years, he has never had any contact with anyone else. And a letter comes, and this throws the entire Dursley household into chaos. And Vernon quite literally loses all of his marbles. Like, they just go all over the place. Aunt Petunia is scared out of her mind. Dudley throws all kinds of fits because he ends up having to lose his second bedroom. And then we have a countdown to Harry's birthday. Mm-hmm. That is, in a nutshell, what we've got going on here.
Okay. So that's what happened. Here are a couple of things I highlighted to point out how these things go down here. Okay?
Yes.
So the first thing I highlighted was Piers, Dennis, Malcolm, and Gordon were all big and stupid. But as Dudley was the biggest and stupidest of the lot, he was the leader. So that's how we learn the names of Dudley's gang.
Yeah.
Then, when the letter comes and Vernon snatches it from Harry before he can read it, Dudley wasn't used to being ignored. He gave his father a sharp tap on the head with his smelting stick. I want to read that letter, he said loudly. I want to read it, said Harry furiously, as it's mine. It's just the entitlement, right? Just the entitlement.
Yep.
And then
okay.
When Harry gets his bedroom, the second bedroom, he throws a massive fit. He's crying, he's screaming, he does all this. So then it says, the next morning at breakfast, everyone was rather quiet. Dudley was in shock. He'd screamed, whacked his father with his smelting stick, been sick on purpose, kicked his mother, and thrown his tortoise through the greenhouse roof. And he still didn't have his room back.
How did you make yourself sick on purpose?
Dude. I'm sorry, I was horrified by him throwing his tortoise through the greenhouse.
I know. Well, considering the way that he treats all of his toys and everything, no. Like, what I actually ended up writing down here or making a note of is that the beginning of the chapter says that the escape of the Brazilian boa constrictor earned Harry his longest ever punishment, and he didn't even do anything, right? And Dudley had in a sense, Dudley had already broken his new video camera, crashed his remote control airplane, and first time out on his racing bike, knocked down old Mrs. Fig as she crossed the street.
On her crutches.
Yeah, he doesn't care.
He had a broken leg and was hobbling on crutches, and this with his racing bike.
He doesn't care. Tortoise, life, no life. He doesn't care.
My
bad. Yeah, he doesn't care. I have to say that one of my favorite things is Uncle Vernon losing his everything.
Literally, in my reactions and thoughts, I wrote down 3 things. It says they treat Harry like an animal.
Yeah.
It says Dudley sucks, and it says Uncle Vernon's gone mad.
Yeah. I mean, okay. He's trying, I don't understand this logic. He's trying to board up all the holes that any letters can come in through, right? He's just boarding up the mail slot, boarding up the cracks in the door. How are you going to get out of the house? Right? And then,
in the house. It said that.
First, he uses the hammer. Do you remember what he uses to try to pound the nail in?
The piece of fruitcake that Aunt Petunia gave him while he was working there.
That's how, out of his mind he had become. To the point where he just could not reason, and he was literally trying to pound in a nail with fruitcake.
And that whole part, him going mad and his behavior as it ramps up over the days and all that, that is seriously one of the missteps they took with the movie. Because in the movie, it's a very small little piece of it, but the way they describe it in the book is hilarious, and it would have been a great movie scene. This fool making sharp left turns and going back the way he came for a while. Shake him off. He thinks they're being followed. He stops in the middle of the forest, gets out, looks around, shakes his head, and gets back in the car, and then does the same thing. It said he did the same thing in the middle of a field somewhere else and on the middle of a suspension bridge.
Yeah.
The movie seriously missed some comedy in just that piece alone.
And it wouldn't have even had to be a very long scene. It could have just been really short transition clips. And
Yeah,
it would have been
almost like a montage of him losing his crap.
exactly.
Yeah, because it's so
Because
funny the things that he does.
yeah, well, because he swore. He swore. They swore when they took him in that they'd stamp out that dangerous nonsense. He won't have one in the house. That's what he said.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. And the takeaway that they treat him like an animal for me was when they finally got to the little crappy shack on the rock. And of course, there was only one bedroom, so the parents took that. And then she takes the best blankets and makes a bed on the couch for Dudley. And then it said that Harry got to pick the softest piece of floor and lay down under the thinnest, raggediest blanket that was left over for him. And I was just like, ugh. They treat him worse than an animal, dude. People treat their animals better than that.
I do. I'm like, I do.
You're a little bit on the higher end of the spectrum. But yes, people treat their animals better than that.
I mean, he sleeps in a cupboard.
Well, until they moved him into the smallest bedroom.
Well, yes, because who was the letter addressed to, or how was the letter addressed?
Exactly, because the letter was addressed to Mr. H. Potter, number 4 Privet Drive, the cupboard under the stairs, Little Whinging, Surrey.
Yeah.
And then when it came the next day, after the other thing too was it said Uncle Vernon did something he had never done before. He visited Harry in his cupboard.
Yeah.
And so he comes in there and Harry's like, "Who's the letter from?" And he's like, "Don't ask questions. You're moving into Dudley's second bedroom." And he's like, "Why? Don't ask questions. Just get your things and go now."
It literally only took him one trip. He didn't have anything.
No, nothing.
No possession.
And so, nope. And so he goes upstairs and he's like, "I'd much rather be in my cupboard with the letter than up here without it." But then when the next letter comes, it's addressed to Mr. H. Potter, number 4 Privet Drive, the smallest
bedroom. Yeah. And then, of course, Aunt Petunia is like, how do they know?
Oh, no. The fact that they started talking about the fact that they might be being watched.
Yeah.
And that's why Uncle Vernon lost his crap. That's why he was driving around
spied on. Yep. With all the owls that kept coming to the house, like, yeah.
And then once again, they know that magic exists. How do you think you're going to outrun it? How do you not think that there know stuff by magic? Like, you two actually know that magic exists. The children don't know. You know.
They don't know the extent nor how it's used or like anything. They don't, because they don't want to, right? So like they don't know anything about how it works.
They thought they could get in the car and shake off wizards.
Bless.
Sorry, that was hilarious to me because I'm like, they're so dumb because they're the ones that actually know what is happening, and they're so sad. It is. Harry's confused as language. Sorry, Harry's confused as
only Muggles guy.
No idea what's happening, but they know.
Yeah,
and they're acting like they have no idea. Like, oh.
I mean, but yeah, they want to try so hard to stamp it out. They want to make sure that it can never go further than it's already gone, but they can't fight it, you know? They don't realize that they can't fight it. I want to go back.
Hilarious though.
It is. It is sad. It is very sad. I want to go back to Dudley and Harry's schools. Dudley gets this amazing uniform. This is another way that we see how Harry's treated in the household.
Is it amazing?
Well, supposedly, according to everybody else, right?
I mean, McKellar's hair is clownish, and he's already a fat, very fat person.
Yes, but it's like what, maroon, right?
Like the pants are orange.
His knickerbockers. Yeah.
Orange knickerbockers and then maroon coattails. So I assume that's like a blazer with coattails, and it's maroon. Go with these orange pants and the flat straw hat called a boater. And all I could think, and they're carrying this stick.
Yep.
Like, who decided orange and maroon go together?
I don't know. Somebody a long ass time ago, because his dad went to that school, right? And I don't think the uniform had changed because they didn't say anything about it.
No, he said he was very proud of his son.
Oh, yeah.
Clown suit.
Aunt Petunia was about ready to cry. Well, she was crying, right? She was so happy.
When doesn't she?
Yes,
cries every time her Ittle Diddykins does something amazing.
Yes. And then Harry, he's going to public school, and he wears
all gray.
All gray, yes. And he wears Dudley's hand-me-downs, right? Harry Potter is this tiny little boy because he lives in a cupboard. He's very thin. He doesn't eat a lot. He's malnourished because everybody else gets all the food. And he has to wear Dudley's hand-me-downs that Aunt Petunia dyes gray in a pot in the kitchen for him.
And it smells rancid.
It smells awful. It smells awful. Yep. Everybody walks into the kitchen and they're like, what does that smell? Right? And it's like, oh, it's Harry's new uniform for next year. That's so sad. I mean, he said that he's going to look like he's wearing bits of old elephant skin, right?
I mean, like it's going to be hanging off him because Dudley's 4 sizes bigger than he is. Oh my God. Poor kid.
Right? And he doesn't complain.
Old shirts and be fine.
But he doesn't complain. He doesn't want to stir the pot. He doesn't want to say anything. He doesn't want to bother anyone. So he's just like, man, I'm going to look insane, but whatever.
At least Dudley and his friends won't be there beating me up.
Exactly. He's just always looking at like the best possible side of the outcome of each scenario. So sad.
Also talk about book versus movie.
Yeah.
As he's counting down to his birthday, he's number one, he's looking at Dudley's illuminated watch in the book. In the movie, he has his own watch. And he's watching the time. And also in the movie, poor little sad Harry is drawing himself a birthday cake in the dust on the floor.
Yeah.
And then he blows it. Like he's blowing out the candles and all the dust.
Yeah. Yep.
Just to make it sadder.
It does. It does. You see that he doesn't have a real cake. He's got a dirt cake. Yeah.
All right, what's your takeaway from this chapter?
Okay, you already mentioned it. The lengths that people go to stay in denial. That was mine. Like, it was just, because, again, it really shows you in the real world as well, the lengths that people go to be in denial, to stay in denial, to stay where they are. Uncle Vernon is
crazy.
Literally. And he just, he's like, no, this can't possibly exist. We're going to run away from them. Like, he can't be part of that world. That world just doesn't exist. We don't want it in the house. We don't want anything to do with it. And he drives to the middle of nowhere, to several middle of nowheres.
All of the middle of nowhere.
All of the middle of nowhere. And he has rations for everyone, right? Because they're going to go to the middle of nowhere where there's no food, there's no nothing, there's no this and that. He's got a special secret package and some rations for everyone. What are these rations, Christina?
This fool bought each person a bag of chips and a banana. Now, you've been driving all day, and it literally says this was the worst day of Dudley's life because he had missed 5 programs he wanted to watch, and he'd never gone so long without killing an alien on his computer. And your child is fat. Your child eats a lot. How did you think after driving all day long that you were going to feed that child a bag of chips and a banana?
Yeah.
Now, Harry was probably all right because they don't feed him that much anyway. But really, and I don't even like Dudley.
Oh, I can guarantee you that Aunt Petunia had to have given him like at least half of hers.
That's probably true too. Because she's thin too. She eats kind of bird-like. So yeah, she probably gave him half of hers too.
Yeah. I think so.
Oh, probably gave him the chips and just ate the banana.
And didn't they try to use the chip bags as like kindling for the fire?
Kindling, yeah, and it didn't. It just fizzled out. So my takeaway is a quote, one that you've actually already played around with quite a bit, and it is Uncle Vernon saying, "I'm not having one in the house, Petunia. Didn't we swear when we took him in we'd stamp out that dangerous nonsense?" And
that dangerous nonsense.
So foreshadowing of all the things that are to come.
I know.
And so that was my quote takeaway from this chapter. Like, oh, is that what you thought? Aww.
Yeah, right.
It's going to be a fun ride for you, buddy.
It's coming. All that dangerous nonsense. It's coming.
Oh boy, there ain't no stamping it out, kid.
I love it.
Trust. Not to mention the fact that they don't even know he's the boy who lived.
Right. Well, I mean, yeah, nobody technically knows, really.
I mean, but I'm just saying, they think they're going to stamp it out, but he's the boy who lived.
Right. Spoiler alert.
Well, I mean, literally, the first chapter is called The Boy Who Lived. So.
Again, foreshadowing. We didn't do it.
She who must not be named.
Yeah, sorry. I'm not afraid of the name.
Yeah, but she still is not to be named for other reasons.
Oh, okay.
All right. You ready? You ready? You ready? You ready?
I'm ready.
All right. Make magic, baby.
Okay. Let me start off by saying that this was a bit challenging. So I have an alternative craft for you. It is challenging if you do it the way that I did it. There are a few easier options here. I mean, it's just a carton of eggs, right? Just a carton of eggs, just a normal carton of eggs. Or is it? Dun, dun, dun. Okay. So basically, in the book, one thing that we haven't even talked about is that the letters come in many different ways. And this is one of the reasons why Uncle Vernon loses his marbles, because not only are they pushed through the mail slot, not only are they pushed through the cracks in the doors, the windows in the bathroom, but they are also in an entire dozen of eggs. Like every single egg that Aunt Petunia cracks, there's a letter in it. Okay. And so, there's a letter in the egg. One of the reasons why I wanted to do this craft is because it is not in the movie. And I think it's just so magical to have letters in eggs, right? Like, I understand putting them through the mail slot. I understand even putting them in the cracks of things, but having them come in eggs
out of the fireplace.
Yeah, well, there's a hole there. You know what I mean? How do you get letters in eggs? You can't.
Magic. Yeah.
Exactly. So that's why I wanted to make it. So basically what you're going to want to do is, the easy way to do it is you can get Easter eggs, especially if it's the season, but currently it's not, of course. But you can find plastic eggs. I found mine at Daiso, and it happened to have this little like gummy fake egg in it. Yeah. Christine. So mine was like a kitchen toy, and you can crack it open and, ooh, look, there's a little egg half. So I'm just using this. It has some ridges on it, but who cares? And print up some letters, cut them up, paste them together, shove them in your egg. Voila. Now, I only made one of these. All the others are dummy eggs. And it's a real shell. It's a completely real shell. However, let me show you some pictures as to how I made this. Here are our materials. You're going to need some glue, some white paint, some real eggs, a paintbrush, our fake egg. It's all in there. And you also need a nail. So you crack a hole in the top and the bottom of the egg. By doing so, you now have like a channel where you can blow through the top of the egg and blow your egg out through the bottom. Okay? And let's move on to the next picture. So you can see here in the corner of this egg carton, I put some white paint and some glue and some little pieces of paper towel. So I used the paper towel to kind of patch up the holes that I had made. Oh, also I rinsed out the eggs with water. I put water in the ends, and I shook them out and made sure the water ran clean, because you don't want, because you want to make sure your eggs are clean. And then dry them out. Let them dry out on a paper towel, whole side down, so that they can be dry inside. Then use some glue, cover up the holes, and then move on to the next one. Then you're going to use paint to cover up the timestamp, the date stamps on the eggs, if your eggs have them. And the next one. And this is what my finished egg carton looked like. So in Japan, we don't have the egg cartons like in the United States, the cardboard kind. We only have plastic ones. So I have to use and reuse the plastic one. But you can see the color difference a little bit. The plastic egg is a little bit more on the gray side. But I did paint the eggs white, like all the way around, so that you wouldn't see the date stamp, and also so that there was a little more uniformity between the eggs. And there's your finished product. You can put the sleeve back on if you have a sleeve, or not. Whatever. How do you feel about this?
Well, number one, here in the US, eggs are super expensive, so we won't be using real ones. I have a feeling I'll need a lot of white paint because I'll probably just find the Easter eggs. If I can't find them at the dollar store, I'll probably order them on Amazon. You can get a 12-pack for $6, which is 2 eggs for $1.
Okay.
And then I'll use an old egg carton, I think.
How much are eggs right now?
I actually haven't bought any in a while, but the last time I bought them, the cheapest ones were like $4.
Oh, okay.
But it's been a while, so I don't know. Because when we went to Jamaica, when we left, gas was in the high 4s. And when we came back, and we were only gone 4 days, when we came back, gas was in the high 5s.
Oh, my.
So I haven't even bought eggs. I don't know.
Also, in certain areas, it's like almost $7, isn't it?
I've heard they're super expensive, $7 to $10 in New York. San Francisco might be higher.
Okay.
Other places that have high costs of living. I'm surprised ours aren't more, actually. But
yeah, maybe it depends on where you're shopping too. Like each store might have a different price.
I mean, but even if you go, like, let's say you go to what used to be the 99 cents only store, they were never 99 cents anyway. They were like $1.99, but now even there, they're like $3 or $4. So,
okay.
But I'll be using toy eggs, and I'll probably, if all of them open, I'll probably put letters in all of them. That's what I'm thinking is going to happen on this end.
I like that. Now, if, for example, you don't consume eggs, or if you find...
Or if eggs are just way too damn expensive to be making crafts with.
Right. Yeah.
This is not Japan, sweetie, where you guys have egg vending machines.
Yeah, we have egg, FYI, for all of you guys listening out there, if you're not in Japan, we have egg vending machines. You can go to it's typically in rural areas. I'm sure you can find them in some city areas as well, but we have these kind of like little lockers where you walk into that room, and it's almost like at Disneyland, the room with the lockers. That's the kind of locker that it is. And there are different colors, sizes, amounts of eggs that you can get. So there's like the S category, the M category, the L category, whatever kind of eggs you want. And our eggs are more expensive than they used to be. However, they're still probably going to run you no more than $2. Yeah. And we don't have dozens here. We have packs of 10. Anyway, so in case you are unable to or do not want to do this craft, we have an alternative for you, and it is hanging behind me over here. And this is the flying letters that come out of the chimney and that just engulf the entire living room. So you can, again, just print this. Basically, it's the letter, and cut it out, fold it in half, like glue it together. And when you glue it together, you're going to want to use like fishing line, clear fishing line. And you can, I don't know if you'll be able to see. This one, for example, has 5 letters hanging on one string. The other ones have 4, and you can distance them However, you can space them however much you want, however far apart you want. And yeah, hang them somewhere, but be careful that they don't get too knotted because that's a possibility. And sorry,
I'm trying to see if I can find the picture from your party when the entrance hall had all the letters.
Oh yeah. So to those of you that don't know, I had a party in last Christmas-ish. I had a Harry Potter party, and to say I went all out is kind of an understatement.
I told you, she thinks she's going small, but nothing is ever small.
I thought that these eggs were small. And then when I got down to it, I was like, wait, I could see how we could have some issues here. Okay, Christina's trying to pull up my doorway and my entryway, my foyer, if you're feeling fancy. And I basically hung, I want to say like 12 lines. I don't remember how many lines of these letters so that you could fully feel the effect when you're walking through the entryway of the house. Did you find it?
I did, but it's not in the right format. Hold on a sec.
Okay. Another one of the things that some of the crafts that I do here are the crafts that I did for the party, and that's technically how this entire idea got started. How the craft segment of this podcast came to be. While you look for that, can I do my WB Studio Tour reveal?
Yes, please.
Okay. I have some really wonderful, fantastic friends that I don't get to spend enough time with. One of them lives in Tokyo now. And one of my friends who lives here went to meet up with that friend, and they brought me stuff back. They sent me stuff from the WB Studio Tour. So now there's one in London. There's one here in Japan. And the one here in Japan these are the shopping bags, look like this. And on the other side, it looks like a Daily Prophet. I love these bags. And in this bag, we have Hagrid's birthday cake for Harry. It's a tin. And inside, there are cookies. And why do they have to be so cute? They are literally exactly like the tin. And they have a bit of a pink hue to the cookie. They're adorable. It's kind of a shortbread cookie. There are also some regular cookies in there, kind of mixed in. Super cute. And that's going to go here with my other cakes. And we got one more present. They also have little baby bags. And in here, look at this. You could probably use it like a little coin purse if you wanted to. And even the zipper has Harry Potter on it. And inside, there is a reusable bag. And look at the tag. Like, everything about this is adorable. The tag also says Harry Potter. I don't know if you can see that. So that was one of my gifts that I'm really excited to use on a daily basis. I have several reusable bags that are Harry Potter. And my other gift is this bag. This is not a paper bag. This is also a reusable bag. And look at that. Beautiful. And inside, a matching matching color tin. And then this one I haven't even opened, so I have no idea what's inside. So let's open it together.
Woo-woo.
It says it's I don't know how to pronounce this in French because je ne comprends pas le français. Gaufret? I don't know. Gaufret. Gaufrets. If I really want to butcher it for fun. Oh, chocolat. It says chocolate. Oh, okay. There are like a billion of these. They're all the same. Oh, chocolate, vanilla. Okay, so we have different flavors. There's a chocolate and there's a vanilla. Let's open one. Dun, dun, dun. Oh!
All right, I got it.
It's a little cookie. It's a wafer cookie. That's what it is. Okay. And then a Hermione wand pen. I don't know if you can see the details of the wand. A Defense Against the Dark Arts book. This is a journal, but this is the book that Umbridge had the kids study in. A mystery postcard, which I haven't opened because I wanted to open it here. So let's do it. Dun, dun, dun. So there are 8 designs to collect. A Newt Scamander's field journal. Ah, okay. So it's going to be some kind of magical creature. Ah. Oh.
Oh.
It's a postcard.
It is. But what is I've seen that animal. What is it?
Ocony? Ocony. That's the animal that comes. So you could get a niffler. You could get, let's see, an ocony, a niffler, something that looks like a giant moth. Oh, I can't remember the name from Fantastic Beasts. It's like a bunch of animals from the Fantastic Beasts series.
Okay.
How cool is that? Okay, we have to put this up somewhere. And one final thing. A towel, a little hand towel that has every flavor beans. Cute. Thank you so much, guys. I love everything. All right, so now
I found the picture. Ready?
Yes.
Dun, dun, dun.
Oh.
So this
That
is when
is
we walked in Erica's front door into her house for her Harry Potter party.
very magical.
It was so dope.
Yes.
Man. Maybe at one point we'll show all the rest of the pictures of all the cool stuff you made.
Yeah, I think it'd be fun.
Okay. All right, final segment. You ready?
I'm ready.
Bum, bum, bum. Hallows are Horcruxes. Okay. Today's Would You Rather.
Yeah.
Would you rather not know that magic exists or know that magic exists but not be able to practice it?
Okay. I teeter-totter. However, I have a very nice example of why I choose to not be able to practice it. I know that in many cases, ignorance is bliss. It's a saying for a reason, right? Ignorance is bliss. You don't have to deal with the weight of whatever it is that you would know, right?
I mean, but denial, right? Because we talked about that.
Exactly. And take my good friend, well, not my good friend, but a good example, Jacob Kowalski. Speaking of Fantastic Beasts, Jacob Kowalski is the nomad, as they say in America, or muggle, as they say in England. So non-magical person who cannot or do magic and does not know of the magical world. However, he gets brought into the world by accident. And he gets to experience the wonders of the magical world. And even though he can't practice, he doesn't have a wand, he can't use magic, he still gets to experience everything that the magical world has to offer, including its fantastic beasts, which is where he comes from. And I have to say that I would much rather be in his shoes than not.
And that goes back to the past Hallows or Horcruxes. He kept the secret.
Yeah. It was, I think that it's in many ways, this kind of like hits many aspects of life too, right? Like there are certain things that we can't necessarily be a part of, but that we can experience and that we can appreciate. We can appreciate
People's Day here in America.
Yes, we can appreciate
not the day this drops.
So many cultures, right? So many cultures appreciate them. We may not be able to be a part of all of the events or the whatever things that they have going on, but we can appreciate them and we can learn more about where everyone comes from and how we are all wonderfully unique and different. And I think that's so important. It really helps us learn appreciation. What about you?
My answer is quite similar, because I was thinking about all of the other things, like you said, that you would still get to experience even if you couldn't practice. I was thinking about, like, what if you were friends with the Weasleys and you could still go to the Burrow? What if you still went to Weasley's Wizard Wheezes? What if you were still able to hang out in Diagon Alley and have butterbeer at the Three Brooms? You know what I mean? Like, it's almost like how much
go to Bill and Floor's wedding.
Yeah, like, you know what I mean? There's so many things that you would still be able to experience and see and even be a part of without actually being able to practice magic. And the magical world is superior to the Muggle world. Sorry.
Just watching it all happen, being able to watch it all happen, because that also goes into
game, bro.
The Quidditch World Cup, yeah, because that also goes along with your level of experience or expertise in magic. So there are some people who are really good at doing magic and some people who might not be so good at doing magic. So even if you are one of those people, for example, who can't do magic really well, you still get to see the people who do it really well. Same kind of situation. Even though you can't practice it, you still get to see all those different levels of awesomeness.
Especially if you're not a crappy person and you have good friends. You know what I mean? Like, if you got to hang out with Harry, Hermione, and Ron, even if you weren't magic, like, they're good friends, so you would experience things. You know what I mean?
Well, look at Aunt Petunia's upbringing. Aunt Petunia is a perfect example of the opposite, right? She wanted to deny every aspect of her sister's being, of her magical side, right? So Lily, Harry's mom, obviously got her letter and she was allowed to go to Hogwarts. And Aunt Petunia, probably out of jealousy, because, she couldn't make any of these cool things happen herself, then turned on magic and was like, no, this is weird. Stamp it out. Yeah, you're a freak, Lily. So, yeah, sad. But I mean, this was at, the age of 10, 11, and probably even younger if Lily could make things happen before, unexplainably.
Yeah, how old are they now that they have their own kids and now Lily's dead and she's still holding a grudge?
Yeah.
Jesus. You rotten flower, you.
Oh. Yeah, that. Hey, man, bitterness can go a long way if you don't let go of things.
Man, I guess not. Oof. Oof. Okay.
Gotta learn to let go.
Good episode.
Yeah.
Outro?
Yep. First, I just want to say thank you again to my friends and the wonderful gifts that I received from the WB Studio Tour. I hope that you guys all enjoyed seeing some of the merch that they have over there as well. Good luck to you guys with the craft. I hope that you enjoy the challenge of trying to make it. And, this one back here, these are super easy. Okay. Don't be intimidated. Just give it a try. Anyway. So again, I'm Erica, your local Hufflepuff, and you can find me at Poodle Noodle 82 or on our website, or wherever you can find the Lightning Bolt Chronicles, because that's me. I'm the co-host of these Lightning Bolt Chronicles. See you next time.
Hey, y'all. Hey, it's me, Christina McCrary on Facebook, aka The Black Mirror, aka Captain Consistent, aka The Mom Friend, aka Xtina McCrazy on TikTok and Instagram, host of McCrazy's Place podcast on YouTube, and it has an IG and a Facebook. Co-host of Thursday Night Live, your weekly dose of foolishness and effery revolving around social media and pop culture. And co-host of these Lightning Bolt Chronicles here with EPeezy, the Oracle, aka Erica, which plays on YouTube with video, audio only on Spotify, and audio only on our website, www.thelightningboltchronicles.com. We also have an Instagram, a Facebook, and a TikTok. So look for us there. Mainly in our Instagram stories. That's where you guys are going to find my take on Erica's crafts. And if you do a take on Erica's crafts, email them to us at thelightningboltchronicles@gmail.com. And we will show those as well. And we do trivia. And we put up the Hallows or Horcruxes so you guys can vote and we can see how the audience feels about that. So make sure you're checking out our Instagram stories. And all of my podcasts, this one included, are presented to you by Sarkaragans Media Group, SMG or SMD. Make it a magical week, y'all.
Bye, guys.
Bye.